It's time for the 11th Women's All-Stars game, and this is how the Indigenous side lines up. 5 debutantes, an average age of 22 and a half, and 2 of the debutantes are in the halves, Kira Dibb and Tallulah Tillett. There are 2 co-captains as well, Quincy Dodd and Caitlin Johnston. The opponents are the Maori Ferns, and they line up like this. 7 debutantes in all, 11 players backing up from last year's success when they won 24-0 in Townsville. Once again, they are captained by Corbin Baxter. Rugby League is back. The 2022 season on Fox League starts now. And it's the Maori side in possession first up. Shannon Martor, the Brisbane Bronco, who becomes a Titan this year.
And look at the defence. They're all over it. It was a great chase. Good start to the game, Speedy.
3 in the tackle as Betty Welsh took the second hit up. Ronna Peters driven back. The Indigenous side making an early statement. 3 players in on every tackle so far.
Bobby Law showing some really early strength there and driving Ronna back.
Martor with a second hit up on this opening set. Maynard is the dummy half. Now Tamara. Little off the outside of the boot. Upton gets up there quickly, takes it safely on the chest, playing in her first All-Stars game after setting the NRLW alight with the Broncos.
Hard to believe it's a debut game here.
Yeah, missed one game with injury, missed another one on a family holiday, but she's finally answered the call of Ben Jeffries, and an obvious standout player to watch in this contest. Rebel Blair coming in off a wing for an early hit-up. Doesn't have an NRLW contract, but it's only a matter of time. That tackle lingered, and the referee, Casey Badger, letting it go. Great hit up by Caitlin Johnston, and that deserved a penalty. Looking for that quick play of the ball. Sherrington didn't let it happen and gave up the whistle.
That is great to see. Caitlin Johnston, one of the co-captains here today with Quincy Dodd, and she always lifts. And that first run, powerful. Hopefully that's a sign of things to come over the next 3 quarters.
Kira Dibb and Tallulah Tillett, both wonderful kicking games. It was the number 6 to find touch.
It is a bit of a battle of the boot out there, Speedy, because we know that Sahara Tamara has also got an incredible kicking game, as does Kira Dibb.
Let's get it centre field immediately here for Tamea Kelly Signs. An NRLW rookie with Parramatta this season. Dodd calling the shots. Johnston again. Debuted in this contest as an 18-year-old. It's the 4th straight All-Stars appearance for the Indigenous number 10. There's Tillett moving it on to Dibb. Short ball for Bent, and she's through a gap. Desperate tackle. Ronna Peters dragged her back in time. Dodd keeps going left, throws the dummy, and they weren't falling for that one. She burns a tackle. Upton steps into acting dummy half. And finds Tillett. Strong running by Kelly Signs. Still going and over the line and held up. And she'll have to go 10 metres back for the final play here. It was the standout front rower when the New South Wales camp came together for Ben Jeffries to assess. Now Tillett, little kick in behind, ricochets, and she was going to score the opening try, but left it behind Tallulah Tillett. The 23-year-old's eyes were lighting up, and the Maori side escape.
We've heard a lot of things about Tallulah, and I believe they ought to be true. She's on debut here and attempts this chip to regather, and only just narrowly misses that, Speedy.
Yep, she had Betty Welsh wrong-footed, who was going to go under the posts in the opening minutes of this contest. A very exciting signing for the Newcastle Knights for this upcoming season. On the comeback trail from 2 ACL injuries and a stack of surgeries, Tallulah Tillett, and singled out by Tamika Upton as a player to watch in this contest. Let's go down to the sideline. Lara Pitts, what do you make of these conditions?
Yeah, good afternoon, Speedy. Well, we've got about 13 millimetres of rain around the stadium throughout the day, but it seems to have cleared for now. Some showers still on the radar, but hopefully they stay away. It's so great to have rugby league back, and I think it's been nearly 2 years since we've been able to have 100% capacity crowds, and that's what we could have on our hands tonight. They are filing in, and hopefully a great atmosphere as the game ticks over.
Temera throws the big cutout pass. Stevens Daly had to wait for it. And good go forward from the winger, from Rotorua. Now Temera. This time Chapman gets there and takes it on the full. So the number 1 and then the number 2 with an aggressive move to the ball, but went sideways and picked off by Stevens Daly.
I think you can recall Jamie Chapman played in the number 1, so no wonder she catches that ball with absolute confidence on the run.
Yeah, produced an amazing kick return last year, getting rid of would-be tacklers and threw 3 or 4 of them out of the way. Great to see her involved today. She missed their main session on Wednesday. Jamie Chapman was kept in cotton wool for this one. Johnston, what about the ball handling? Takes it in one hand, shrugs off a tackler or two and keeps on going forward. That was spectacular by the co-captain. Bent is looking dangerous on that left edge. Dodd takes over, gets Dibb into position on the last here. Crossfield kick from the former Rooster. Straight through the arms of Peters, and a turnover of possession coming up.
It's good to see the commitment in defence, Speedy, especially from the Indigenous side, you know, driving some of those bigger players back.
Going to be difficult under the high ball in these wet, greasy conditions here this evening. They've got that North Queensland connection out on the right edge. The Indigenous All-Stars, Peters and Rebel Blair. And Tallulah Tillett. Artur putting her hand up again. Former Wallaroo. There's Ralph Smith. Big expectations for what she's going to produce in her career. Just 18 years of age, already played a senior origin with Queensland.
That's right. She actually played up. She qualified for the under-19s, but she played up along with Destiny Bill.
Temera taking the line on. One of the superstars of the game. Committed to the Roosters again for this upcoming season, despite interest from back in Queensland. Up goes Chapman. That's some take in these conditions over the top of Baxter. She's come to play tonight, the 19-year-old.
She sure has. She's come right through the systems. And you can really tell the confidence that she's playing with at such a young age.
Upton into dummy half. Oh, what a hit! Over the top from Martor and down low.
Oh, I tell you what, I was talking about the Indigenous defence, but my, the Maori girls are bringing it.
Both front rowers absolutely nailing. Jasmine Peters came in to run at the props and they weren't having it. A little tap on the head saying, don't try that one again, Jasmine.
Rona says, take that with you, Jasmine.
Good kick by Dibb under pressure. Betty Welsh gets there on the full. Two of the great fullbacks head-to-head in this ball game, vying for that Australian jumper potentially. Betty Welsh playing for the Maori All-Stars, but plays for New South Wales and the Jillaroos as well.
As she does, and what a great problem Brad Donald has to decide on his fullback for the Jillaroo team.
Temera on the outside, and Rebel Blair comes again. Ralph Smith, smooth move, a one-on-one tackle from Peters on her opposing centre had to be made. Martor and Dodd up in her face. Good work by the dummy half who made a team-high 30-odd tackles last year. McGregor, little kick in behind, and Chapman there to tidy up again after the initial fumble. Best set so far for the Maori Ferns, who put the Indigenous under pressure.
They certainly did. Now let's see at the end of this set of 6 where the ball's handed over at this stage of the game very early.
Oh, trying to get away. Big risk from Tamika Upton. And the penalty is awarded, and there's a sense of fortune in that. A real reliever for the Indigenous side. Don't forget the 2022 NRL trials kick off on Fox League Friday night, 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Lock it in. Doubleheader coming away from Leichhardt Oval. First up, the Raiders take on the Roosters. Then it's the West Tigers against the Sea Eagles. Live and exclusive on Fox League. The trials all coming your way to see who the stars are going to be in this upcoming season. Joseph forced an offload, and there to pounce is Roxy Murdoch. Saw it coming. Great field position here for the Maori side.
Oh!
Cherrington got rid of Dim. Now they can put a play or two on. Martor running decoy. Temora. Bovetti Welsh. Ralph Strand Smith. And taken down, reaches out and loses it. Didn't need to do that. Inexperience perhaps from the teenager. And they get around Jasmine Peters for the try saver.
Lucky the Indigenous will let off there. A little bit of rush of blood there to Ralph Strand Smith. She is only young. She's very promising future. She can play in the centres, in the halves, second row, I believe. But this little rush of blood here, not necessary.
Time about to run out. Can Law play it and give them one more look at it? Siren sounds, and that'll do us. After the first quarter in the All-Stars game, no scorers yet. It's 0-0. Look at the highlights so far in this first quarter, and defence has been big.
Shannon Marto and Rona Peters, good grief, that was a great hit, and that's what we love to see.
Temora is looking dangerous. Good tackle by Rebel Blair there, and Jamie Chapman's tidy-up work has been outstanding.
Oh, I'll tell you what, if you're looking for player of the match in the first quarter, you don't have to look far. Jamie Chapman, outstanding. And here's the driven back there to Tamika Upton. Yes, they're definitely marking her.
Casey Badger with the explanation, allowing Tamika Upton to breathe a huge sigh of relief. She thought she was going back into the in goal and pushed the pass, and the referee bailed her out with the penalty.
Rona Peters again.
And this was when Ralph Strand Smith would like to have this moment back. She just couldn't resist the temptation.
But that's how dangerous she is. Right, see the little jig on her. And as she gets older, she's only going to become more and more powerful. Great future in front of her.
And the crowd building with each and every passing minute. Div gets the second quarter underway. No score as yet. Martor once again there to bring it back. Dislocated her kneecap back in April of last year. Avoided surgery on that. Kennedy Cherrington, part of that all-star recruitment for the Parramatta Eels for their first NRLW campaign, along with Nita Maynard, who's a former Rooster. Both number 9s in this contest head-to-head have left the Roosters for new clubs this upcoming season. Not held was Cherrington. Well, she was. Referee's telling Cherrington to go back, and there might be a further stoppage here. It's Kyra Simon, the 19-year-old, signed by the Newcastle Knights.
that's well high. First contact there, I think, chin, Simon's shoulder.
The ferocity with which these players are taking the line on, some of these one-on-one front-on tackles, so difficult to execute. Kyra Simon, a wonderful all-round sporting talent. And great things surfing and also on the soccer field in years gone by. And now playing for the Indigenous All-Stars. Hopefully she can return. It's an unlimited interchange in this game. Hopefully she can shake that off and no damage done ahead of her rookie season with the Knights.
And of course, because we're playing in summer, so early in the year, we have the game divided into 4 quarters. Supposedly it's raining up there.
Upton got there on the full again. Brought it back to the 20. Or out of dummy half. Driven backwards again. Koenig involved in the tackle. She played for the Indigenous side last year, representing her father's heritage, and has switched sides to play for her mother's Maori heritage here tonight. So you don't see that too often in this kind of all-star concept, but that's what Olivia Koenig is doing.
Yeah, well, I think Keith Hanley, after last year's game, was very quick to get on the phone to Olivia and get her to commit to the multi-team this year.
Power looking for an offload, and Roxy Murdoch prevented that. On the last, Tillett. Good time to take a glance and try and find a little bit of space under the chest of Josephine Daniels.
Speedy, we were thinking 24-0 last year. Indigenous bled points, and they had to work on their defence, and they've certainly done that.
Interesting that Jeffries was a winning coach 2 years ago. Wasn't called back for last year. They lose 24-0, and this time around he's back again, head coach of the Indigenous side. Had a chat to him the other day after the Wednesday training session. Very impressive guy. Played in the NRL with the West Tigers, and then a long time in the UK playing in the Super League.
And the strength of the defence, the commitment of the defence have caused an unforced error there.
Yeah, little mistake from Autumn Rain Stevens-Daly with the play the ball as we check in with Lara Pitt.
Good news, Kyra Simon is got the interchange card. She's coming back on. It was just badly winded from that contact earlier.
That is good news. They're going to the short aside here. Little 2-on-2. And just on Talia Fuimeona. His brother will play in the men's game a little later on. Both signed by the Dragons for this upcoming season. Oh, ball bounced out, and a clear knock on by Keely Joseph. Pounced upon by Martor, and then reefed out by Williams. A little piggyback penalty first up.
Yeah, that will help get them out of some danger territory. You can see a little bit of the fatigue coming on now. There's been some really hard hits, and now a couple of errors are coming through as a result.
Always great to see the Fox Sports Theatre exclusives. We sit down with some of the Panthers stars and dissect last year's grand final. That's all coming up on Feb 19. Be sure to catch that one. Good ball here for the Warriors. Fresh legs as well. The Maori Ferns, rather. Maya Hill Moana, who led that pre-match haka so fantastically well. Quick hands from Tamara. Held onto by Murdoch. As Rebel Blair jammed in off a wing, so there's space out here. Martor, and what about the read by Johnston? Got there and took her into touch, and a team lifter from the co-captain.
Doesn't she just love it? And don't the girls just love it? She fires up, and she's such a great footy player, but I think this is her game. She really loves representing a culture. She really leads by example, and I'm so pleased to see her as co-captain today. Whoosh.
She was the Knights' historic first signing ahead of their maiden NRLW campaign. That was July 1 last year. Had to wait a long time to get on that stage. It comes on Feb 27 in Newcastle, that triple header coming our way at the start of the NRLW season. Former Rooster back in 2019. Just a budding superstar of the game.
Oh, she's a local junior. She came right through the under-18s Tashkal Cup.
Chapman on the outside trying to burn them. Good decision in the end. She was running out of room and did the discipline thing.
Wise beyond her years. She's only 19.
Oh, did well to hold on. Kyra Simon returns to the action and greeted by a frustrated Mator. Right up the middle goes Janelle Williams. And she was called upon when Talisha Harden couldn't quite go for this contest. Such an inspirational figure for the Indigenous side. No doubt watching the contest on Fox League.
Yep, shout out to Talisha. She's a fabulous player, and just a niggling injury she's got. And it's such a packed season, you can't afford to, start off the season with an injury being made worse.
Betty Welsh gets rid of one. Off the long run comes Ralph Strand-Smith, proving difficult to contain.
She is proving difficult, and she knows the lines to run. For someone so young, big future ahead of her.
Clever by Upton a moment ago to give herself up when she realised the shepherd was on. Maynard, first real dart from dummy half. That's the quick play. The ball wanted more than that. She might have been entitled to a penalty. Maya Hill Moana, another one of these teenage stars in this game. Racine McGregor, tough one for Chapman. Upton across in time, and goal line dropout required here for the Indigenous side.
That was a great kick by Racine McGregor. She managed to thread that through, put the Indigenous team really in danger there, and Tamika had to hit it out over the sideline.
And she won the Trish Hina medal last year for the best player in the game. Couple of tries for Racine McGregor, but not contracted for the NRLW season coming up.
No, Speedy. Unfortunately, Racine had some shoulder injuries that she needed to look after, and that was back when the NRLW season was due to start, so she didn't get a contract, and of course now it's delayed. She could actually play, but she's a marquee player, taking up too many points. No club has that room in their roster now.
Surely there's a case for some sort of dispensation to get her into the competition with one of those 6 clubs. Of course, she's won the comp with the Broncos a couple of times. Now it's Temera finding Bo Betty Welsh. Holds it up for Ralph Strand-Smith, trying to slide over and didn't get it out to the winger, Stevens Daly, who would have gone over untouched. They're looking dangerous when they do go left. Now it's McGregor's turn. Out to Koenig. And tough on Baxter. Chapman put the glasses away potentially here. She is a speedster, and she is flying off the intercept. She's going to go 80 metres for the opening try of the game, and Jamie Chapman is having a stormer.
Jamie Chapman, I think we named her player of the first quarter. Let's name her player of the first half, at least with that. Putting the first points on the board for the Indigenous team. Absolute fabulous game that she's having. You can see she takes this ball, Speedy. I think you called it well. It's around here, so she gets it before on the 10. She's gone 90 metres, 20, 30, over the 40-metre mark. And the gaps just keep getting bigger. There's no one that's going to catch her. Jamie Chapman, hats off to you. Thoroughly deserved. Indigenous go, 4 points to 0.
And remember, when we first heard of Jamie Chapman was when she went viral in a New South Wales underage origin game at North Sydney Oval, when she went about 90 metres in quick time on that night. Now she's doing it on the All-Stars stage, a runaway try to save us. There was no one in the Maori side who could match her on that occasion. And Dib adds 2 more. The Indigenous lead 6-0.
Maya Hill-Moana, I've been watching her play last year, I think, for the North Sydney Bears, and she is outstanding.
Well, they run that way again. What an offload that is from Janelle Williams. You can see why she's caught the eye in her early 30s and will be a Dragon this upcoming season. Dibb's kick travelling nicely over the top and bouncing away. Where did that kick come from?
That is a Kira Dibb kick, and it's one that we've come to expect. She is amazing with the boot, and if she gets any opportunities to convert, which she has one tonight, she's very, very good at converting as well.
Not quite the 40-30 kind of equation that is required to get the ball back themselves, but certainly covered plenty of territory, that boot from Kira Dibb.
Yeah, it's interesting. Sahara Tamara is very good on the boot as well, but Racine up close to the line, obviously very accurate in threading that ball through, so she's been on a lot of the kicking duties.
Glad to see Crystal Hirota out there, 36 years young. She'll play for the Knights in their maiden NRLW campaign.
She's the current New Zealand captain, taking over from Honey Hirome.
Former captain of this team twice over. Bo Vetty Welch turns on the afterburners and tries to position her winger. Where's the support? Rough Strand-Smith now with a chance and the try right on the half-time bell from Autumn Rain, Stevens Daly. But it all started with the superstar, Bo Vetty Welch.
That was just desperate, hanging on football there in defence and attack. But Bo Vetty Welch, she's got this elusive step, great dummy. She splits them. I'm not sure which Indigenous player it was that was just hanging onto a shirt, but still manages to get the ball away. Here it is. And there we go. There's that dummy. Desperate defence here, hanging on. They've got the backup. Offload again. And over they go for 4 points out wide, Speedy.
It was well summed up in the end. Ralph Strand-Smith got Stevens Daly on the outside. She scored 2 tries on debut for New Zealand against Samoa in 2020, and now a try scorer in the All-Stars game as well. We'll take something special from Zahara Temara from the touchline. Touchies were interested, but not quite enough on it. So the Indigenous side lead at half-time, 6-4.
Want to know your eyes when it comes to the best.
Just about the best in the business. You've got every right to be amazed.
An incredible moment. When it comes to the best.
Turn every tap into a holiday when you take out a Qantas points earning credit card. With a range of cards from all the major banks and more, there's one for everyone. Enjoy up to 130,000 bonus Qantas points, or cards with no or low ongoing annual fees. Choose your card, choose your escape. Visit qantas.com/cards.
That's it, lightning quick. Mate, you are a maniac. Push, come on, and time! Woo!
Search ANZ Financial Wellbeing.
Climb a tower and be a princess and get shot at with arrows, wizards throwing spell packets. It's an amazing feeling. It's euphoric.
There are so many ways we can live better. Search Medibank Live Better to find yours.
I'm here to build something unique, something that stands the test of time.
Real love begins on eHarmony. We get to know you better, to match you better. eHarmony, here for real love.
What are you squinting at, stranger?
I don't know what I'm squinting at, but I know I'm squinting at trouble.
Virgil, that's your brother Earl.
Virgil? It's damn glare. I can't see a thing.
Get free polarized lenses in your second pair from the 149 range or above, saving $100.
Should have gone Specsavers.
The Supercars season opener is coming to Sydney Motorsport Park. Sparks will fly in the first battle of 2022, then stay for the after party. Bow Repairs Sydney Super Night, March 4 to 6. Book now at Ticketek.
Subscribe today and enjoy great savings on the news you trust. Enjoy digital access for just $1 for the first 28 days. Search News Special Offer today.
Are you ready for the Super Bowl? Are you ready no matter the time, the place, or the stakes? Are you ready for all the drama, for all the entertainment, and for the love of football? The whole world is ready to share the moment in a Super Bowl celebration like never before.
We've been talking about whatever happens in this game for years to come.
Are you ready?
Short kickoff. How smart is that? And the regather. Such a clever player. Tahara Temura. You don't see that too often, but it was on and she executed.
It was on, and I wonder whether she told teammates about that or whether she just looked up and saw that. Regathered it herself. Fabulous play.
Rotta into dummy half. And they're rolling here. Mator taken down low. Third player in by Johnston. That's been a running battle between those two. Now Temura delayed the pass and a little floater over the top. The unmarked winger might have been on. Playmaker again. Good looking kick in behind and no touch, I don't think. Had a crack at it but missed it, and it worked out for Bobby Law. They'll get a 20-metre restart.
Yep, exciting footy, straight on. You've seen two pretty playing moves come up pretty quickly.
Upton finished up off over the top, claiming a crusher as well, and she'll get that whistle. Mator over the top, and it got away from her.
Something they're really stamping out of the games now. They're quite often never deliberate, but it's something we've really got to keep a very close eye on. That neck being extended back.
Might have actually been Cherrington and not Maya Hill Moana who was the guilty party there. Look at those stats from Chapman in the first half. 115 metres run, 90 of them on the intercept try.
She's the only one to have cracked the 100 in the first half, and not surprisingly.
Betty Welsh, the #1 for the Maori Ferns, not too far behind. Outstanding in setting up their try. Hill Moana is everywhere. The 19-year-old. The Bulldogs in Tarsha Gale Cup. She'll be playing for the Roosters this upcoming NRLW season.
Oh, Speedy, it's always so exciting when Caitlin Johnson has that ball in her hand. You just know that she's going to bring trouble.
Terrific run off the back of it from Dodd. Field taking the line on. Still two plays up their sleeve here as Tillett goes to power. Back on the angle. Peters, a smooth mover, tries to pierce that gap and hunted down from behind. A desperate tackle from Rotta. And now the last. There's space out on that left-hand side. Upton has seen it. What a ball! Chapman has a double. What a combination between the two Flyers and the Indigenous side have their second four-pointer.
An amazing bit of footy, Speedy. Incredible. You can see where it starts back here, where she caught the Maori girls napping. Have we got it here? She takes that run. He didn't quite go back far enough, but Upton with a perfect selection on that pass, a cutout pass. What a talent Upton is, but there we go. Chapman with a second try of the night. Indigenous are celebrating.
So many players in this lineup with a touch footy background. Tamika Upton, an absolute superstar.
Jamie Chapman has just recently moved up to the Gold Coast, I think, Tweed Heads this year. She's up there with the dad, and I've had the pleasure of having a bit of a drink with his dad.
Dibb gives it everything and has those flags in the air. How important is that? Because it's an 8-point lead now.
And you can hear the crowd speaking when Johnson gets the ball.
It's an 8th hit up already. Now Tillett out the back. Upton on the right-hand side. Almost stripped out. She's still going. And Temura able to hold on and finished off by the winger over the top. Johnston keeps it moving. Important tackle by Cherrington as they look to switch it to that left-hand side. Now Dibb. Short ball. And a good read on Phillips after the patch-up job on the back rower. Play the ball, given the all clear. Dibb's cut-out ball. Chapman on a hat-trick. Won't quite get there this time. Desperate defence from the Maori Ferns.
Very committed defence, and I tell you what, didn't get the triple try just yet for Chapman. Still a way to go.
Baxter. Important work by the captain, who's been a little quiet in attack so far. Maybe she can ignite them at the other end in this quarter if they get down the other end in a hurry.
She's a very experienced player and a very experienced captain. Captains the Roosters and captained the multi-team last year as well as this year.
Here she is, putting her hand up. Knew her for so long as Corbin McGregor, married in April last year. Corbin Baxter married Maddie. And her son, Carter, led the haka at the wedding. Absolutely amazing vision that she put up on her social media channels.
She actually started playing rugby league because she watched her son Carter play.
For mascot, wasn't it?
Correct.
There's McGregor out the back, quick hands, Temura, and Baxter didn't move it on. She had the winger, Daniels unmarked.
Chapman had her well wrapped up, right up there.
Spiraled across field by McGregor, again to Rebel Blair. These quarters just flying by in the All-Stars game. And Upton breaking tackles.
Upton looking dangerous, but I tell you what, Kennedy Cherrington's been doing some work up there. Whatever was said at half-time, she's upped it. She's on 18 tackles now.
Yeah, that's a game high, just ahead of Dodd on 17. Johnston, and a great read defensively, right on cue. Kennedy Cherrington got to Johnston in a hurry. Dibb, forward pass, and the touch judge didn't miss it. I tell you what, the touches have been on song. Sharp and Lee Nolan making the right calls from the sideline with their eagle eyes.
Always in good hands with those girls. You know the game's going to be very well watched and very fair.
Where do you see this game at right now? The Indigenous side with that 8-point buffer, but they were able to score late in the second quarter, weren't they? And they've got good field position here, the Maori Ferns.
This is an important set for them. They've got just over 3.5 minutes remaining here. They've got to close this gap. Not sure if the Indigenous are going to let them. There's a little bit overcommitted then.
That helps. A little piggyback penalty given up by Bobby Law.
This could be dangerous now, Speedy, because they get themselves up into the 30 with that kick there.
And their most dangerous attacks have gone left-hand side.
Thinking that's the way they're going to go again. Let's see what they've got.
Get at centre field now. Cherrington finished off by Johnston. Gets a little bit of her own back there. Bronson worked it out eventually with Hel Moana. A little clunky. Now Mator And now they're set up for a pet play. Temera waits on the left-hand side. Out the back, Bo Vetti Welsh in the corner, try time! Down that left-hand side again. It's Stevens Daly with a double, and Vetti Welsh just put it on a platter.
I'm not going to ever believe if they say that just came up there. That looked like a set play. There was too many great lines being run. There was a little double dazzle with the ball. Comes up here, Temera, a beautiful pass, and the Bo Vetti Welsh dummy, and puts the debutante over for her second try.
What about the double pump here from Vetti Welsh? Just to commit Revel Blair and allowed Stevens Daly to get on the outside. There were complaints about a forward pass with the try assist from Vetti Welsh, but given the all clear, and it's game on again.
She wasn't far off the last one. You called it on the left wing.
Has to hit them sweet. And not coming back enough. So 4-point margin late in this third quarter. Don't forget, netball is coming home to Fox. It begins Feb 25, the Suncorp Super Netball season. It's a fast-paced round-robin tournament, first up over 3 days. That's live and exclusive on Fox Sports, starting Feb 25. So much sport coming up live across the Fox Sports channels this month and beyond. NRLW season, 16 comp, starts Feb 27.
Triple header out at Newcastle. Got to get out there.
Strong run back. Ronna Peters, and then driven back. We're seeing that a lot from this Indigenous side. Great technique involved, just to get them on the back foot more often than not.
Slowing down that play of the ball, which is all so important. There's an error here.
Is there enough time to capitalise this time around? Well, Bo Vetti Welsh is saying let's settle down, but they've got to get this touch finder in a real hurry and have one more crack at it here just before half-time. Time continues to tick, and they're not really that interested. In fact, the siren has sounded, and they do get to take the tap. Do they go to the heavens, or do they get ready for the final quarter? Temera does drop it over the top. Baxter is flying. It bounced her way. One more offload. There's a big chance here. But what about the handling? One more pass. And the desperate defensive work from the Indigenous side. They come up with a footy. But what about that play? It has been all action in the All-Stars game. At three-quarter time, the Indigenous side lead 12-8. Another short kickoff from Temera, and it just bounced away, unfortunately for her. She nearly pulled it off again.
That is really cheeky. You rarely see it, let alone twice in a row.
Well done to Keely Joseph for being on hand to tidy up for the Indigenous side. As a result, they've got great field position as she takes them over halfway. Does Joseph, just 20 years of age. Field now the dummy half. There's Williams. Filling the void of Harden impressively. Has to give herself up as Kelly Sines got in the road of field.
The Maori girls still put her to the ground heavily.
Upton fires it back to Tillett. Those two with touch footy background in the past. Tough on Stevens Daly. Ball fumbled, appeared to be a knock on. The chase beautifully timed, and Peters creates the mistake.
Tell you what, Stevens Daly had a little look up there and see the defence charging at her. Always hard to grab that ball when you've had a look at what's coming at you.
Well, they have a chance to get this margin back out to more than a converted try now. Beautifully weighted kick by Tillett, and Peters timed it nicely.
Yeah, she's trying to turn her body away from the defence there, as you do, but unfortunately didn't have full control of the ball as she did that, and the hit came on.
Who wants it? Tillett had to track it down. eventually goes to Dib, who runs into the shoulder of Maya Hill-Moana, and that is not recommended. Williams again, great offload, protected the footy. And now Kelly Signs over the top with ball control, with power, and the Indigenous side leads by 8 again. That is massive from the 27-year-old. What a celebration too.
She is very happy with that try, and rightfully so. She got through there on sheer guts, determination, and no, I am not going to stop attitude. As we see it brought back here for the replay.
There was a little fumble at a key stage. She has to regather that clean. Doesn't want to fumble it off one of the opponents here, but I think she maintained control throughout.
And she's taking over, like, what's there, 4 or 5 players with her. That's sheer determination. And look at that look on her face. She knows it. She loves it.
Tamaya Kelly Signs, a name you'll have to get used to. Let's see, Kira Dibb will be representing the Newcastle Knights. Received a late call-up to join that team for the upcoming season. And an easy conversion adds 2 more, and it's a 10-point ball game with just over 10 minutes to go. The Indigenous side in control. Here's the try scorer, the most recent one. Kelly Signs.
She's still got plenty of petrol in the tank, Kelly Signs.
So does Upton. Finished off after getting that pass away. Found Bent on the edge. Win knocked out of Upton, who takes a back seat for this play. Dropped over the top. Oh, Chapman! Spectacular! Get up and score the hat-trick. No! Tripped up just in time. And has to hand it over. It was the last. Well, you felt certain once she held on she was going to score a 3rd, but somehow came up short.
Oh, Speedy, jump out of your seat sort of stuff. But Chapo, you know, she knew she might get done for that double movement if she tried to just do that last little movement after she tripped. But what a fabulous take. What confidence did she come flying onto that ball? Jamie Chapman.
Wow.
Here she goes. Little trip, not quite there, and if she tried to move again, she's caught for the double movement. So mature play as well as exceptional talent.
All the rain around, I thought she might have been just to slide on into the end goal, but somehow came up short.
Sliding try, sir. Momentum, sir.
Shows how well this ground has drained today, despite all the rain. And that keeps the Maori side in the game just. 10-point margin, 10 to go. They've got to come up with something pretty special now. Maynard back out there at dummy half. Little no-looker from Mator. How many tackles, says Nita? 4 are done. Temora. Trying to force the offload.
As we're in the last 10 minutes, we've got to start thinking about the Fanning Murphy trophy is possibly going to be in the hands of the Indigenous. But who's going to win the medal, the man of the match? Well, I know who may have my vote, the Trish Hina medal, named after a Kiwi player who made her debut in 1997 and actually played against me, scored 3 tries, and I think they were right over the top of me, Speedy.
Yeah, regarded as New Zealand's greatest ever sportswoman. And fitting that the award for the best player is named after her. It was Racine McGregor last year. And so many options for the Indigenous side, you'd reckon. Chapman, a couple of tries, Upton outstanding. Kelly Signs for the front rowers union. It's been brilliant today. And we talked about it at the outset, the kicking game that Tillett and Dibb possess. That was why Jeffries put them in the halves roles, and that's paid off big time today. Upton, oh, another cutout ball. Peters on the outside. Temera, try saver. Brilliant.
Sahara Tamara really putting a body on the line there with a great tackle, taking her over the sideline, but may have come at a cost. Looks a little bit, no, she's getting back up on her feet. Good on you, Sahara, but exciting footy. Yeah, Bobby Law tries to change pace there, but there's no getting away with that. And it was Tamika Upton again with an awesome cutout pass. And playing at fullback. These
They've had a reshuffle on that right-hand side. It's Bobby Law come across from left centre to play outside of Jasmine Peters.
Peter Maynard sizing up the defence.
Baxter looking for work. Wrestled down by Johnston in company with Keely Joseph. Ooh. Martor didn't appreciate the treatment of Kelly Sines, who makes another tackle out of marker.
Did say she still looked like she had plenty of petrol in the tank, and she's using it.
What about the passing of Upton today? Try assist in the left-hand corner, and nearly another one. Oh, don't like the way she grimaced there. The tackle from Kennedy Cherrington. Let's hope Tamika Upton's okay.
She'll walk that one off. But her pass selection, as I said, Speedy, incredible.
Well, watch this space. The number one, a little proppy after that. The mistake has been created here. They needed that. The Maori Ferns, great field position here. You feel like they need to score on the next set or two.
They do. Here's this hit. She's lost that. We got, oh. Okay, they're pumped. The Maori girls are pumped.
Kelly Sines gets a well-deserved early mark, and the appreciation is there for the fellow squad members on the bench. Vetty Welsh might have been able to go to the outside. Took the tackle instead. Now Cherrington runs into Johnston.
Cherrington's leading the tackle count now for the Maori girls at 22, and she's taking the dubs.
Upton's managed to walk that off in back play. Calling the shots defensively, organising that line. Betty Welsh turning Edwards Bruce back on the inside.
A little bit too early with that dummy, I thought.
A late inclusion for the Maori Ferns this week, and that was 16. Oh, third player in, Johnston. It looked a little ugly, and the referee didn't like it either. That's how injuries can happen.
Johnston's done a few of those legally really, really well tonight. Just a little bit late on that occasion. Causing a little bit of danger for the player.
Rhino Peters sets them up. Martor holds on to a bullet pass from Maynard and reefed out by Johnston. Has to be a penalty. They can't quite believe that. And I think this will be a late overrule. Captain's challenge available.
Alan, captain's challenge from Maori, challenging the decision of lost ball.
I tend to agree with the challenge here. Is Speedy.
There's Johnston's hand.
Look, just by accident, my hand got on
the two plays in the tackle. Caitlin Johnson strips the ball out. The challenge is successful.
Walking a bit of a tightrope as well, Johnston, giving away penalties in quick succession on her own try line.
Yes, but they've got to make 6 points of this.
Betty Welsh has been the key player chiming into the back line. As Martor sets them up in front of the posts and takes 5 tacklers to stop her. So there's space somewhere if they go quickly. Maynard fires it back to Temera. Here comes Vetty Welsh. Still Bo Vetty Welsh and dragged down in time. Upton committed. Third player in on that tackle. A little disorganised here. Temera makes it work. Lovely shift between the two front rowers. Martor has another crack. have to go right-hand side and had to go out to the wing. Sherrington took them all on, and they're burning tackles here, the Maori Ferns. Now McGregor dragged down. Look at the desperation and the leadership of Upton here. One more crack from Sherrington, flicks it out the back, and Johnston there to pounce on the loose ball, and that might be their last hope.
They really had to keep it alive there. Sometimes, you know, you get upset if they lose the ball, but you go for the offload. You know, you're 10 points down. There's only 3 minutes to go. You've got to make it a 6-pointer. I understand why Kennedy tried to get that offload off.
Was there a little too much one-out stuff, though, late in that count?
There was. I think what they need to do is spread it out wide and keep it going over that right-hand side.
Bobby Law keeps on putting her hand up. Oh, look out. Power flicks it out the back. They're the team 10 points in front, but they're throwing it around. A little bit of ad-lib footy on the Indigenous side, who are that close away from levelling it up, the head-to-head between these two sides in the All-Stars game. Dibbs kick just inside the touchline. What a beauty.
Absolute fabulous kick there by Kieran Dibb. What she needed was she needed distance, she needed fine touch, countdown, soak up these last few seconds, and that's just what she's found on the end of the boot.
Well, 2 years ago, she was in the Fox League commentary box for the Indigenous game. Now she's out there strutting her stuff and putting on a show today, Kira Dibb. Really connecting with her Indigenous roots along with her father in recent times, and part of this showpiece occasion.
It's great to see the more and more players that are identifying with their heritage, that are finding out about their heritage and really embracing it.
Strand Smith again, metres after contact. Inside the final 90 seconds. If they were to score a try now, they might turn down the conversion attempt and look for the miracle. Maynard scoots out a dummy half, and even at this stage of the game, the Indigenous side able to get 3 in the tackle. Such a fit side, so well coached and organised, and they bring down Betty Welsh on the last.
And I think it was introduced in the Indigenous game, the power play, Speedy, where you do score a try, you knock back the chance to convert, and you get one play with their fullback in the defensive team off the field. I think they would have taken that had that been offered to them.
Sum up this game for us, Tasha Gale, the Indigenous side coming out on top.
As a proud Wiradjuri woman, I'm very happy with the score, but my word, that the talent that this first game of the season that's kicking off a blockbuster season of rugby league for the women, and to have this out there on the stage, showing the talent, showing the dedication, the fitness. It's been an extraordinary game. Could have gone either way, but I tell you what, both teams hanging in there and fighting, and that player there, Jamie Chapman, a big reason why they're in that lead.
Keeping it alive for a moment. Phillips does the right thing, and the Indigenous side celebrate victory.
And now can I please welcome Quincy Dodd as well to collect the Fanning Murphy Trophy from Katrina Fanning.
Well, there are the proud co-captains, Quincy Dodd and Caitlin Johnson. They're lifting the Fanning Murphy Trophy for a monumental win in the first game that was held in Sydney. To think that this side went down 24-0 to the Maldives in Townsville last year. They've gone home, they've done their homework, and they have come out swinging and done all of their families proud as they're celebrating there, and we just love to reflect on it. They are the 2022 Women's All-Star champions.
This has been a Fox Sports production.